making a living at being fake news. It's the Nice Guys on Business.
He had 44 different people in his cabinet over his 4 years, right? People that worked for him, people that he chose. He's like, I want you and you and you and you. Out of 44 of them, 40 will not endorse him. 90% of the people that worked for him directly, day in and day out in the White House, and a huge percentage of them don't just say, no, I'm not going to support him. They basically say he's not fit for fucking office. Have we ever had an election where somebody that used to work for the candidate said, oh no, he's not even fucking fit for the office?
You want a prediction about the weather? You're asking the wrong Phil. I'm going to give you a prediction about this winter. It's going to be cold, it's going to be dark, and it's going to last you for the rest of your lives. And not even the Nice Guys on Business can change it. Most days, they take their meds. This is not one of those days. Welcome to Fuckery with the Nice Guys. No interviews, no business content. Just your two favorite slack-jawed mouth breathers ranting about whatever. Now, strap yourselves in for Nice Guys Fuckery with the kings of fuckery, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
Hold please. This can't be Strickland Bonner because Strickland Bonner does not show up early for a meeting. So this has got to be because of the persuasiveness of one Sally.
I mean,
Are you recording already?
I already am. Do I need to stop recording so you can tell me?
No, you don't need to stop recording. But I was just saying, we were just talking about you and that we were 2 minutes early, and that Sally said, can't be late for Doug. And I said, no, because otherwise we will hear the wrath of Doug. And now we're early. And what are we getting? The wrath of Doug. We can't win. I will have to make sure to show up exactly on time every time for you. Not a minute early, not a minute late, my friend.
I think I've shared this with you before. And Sally, you can hear me too, right? Just want to make sure you can hear me. Okay, so
Strick, all right?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay.
You might have to boost your level when you do all of your editing, Strickland. I know that. But
no, I don't want to edit.
No, I got it. You're fine. So I think I've told this story before. I would get calls from my mom, and she's like, "Hey, am I catching you in the middle of something?" And I'm like, "No, I'm just watching television, Mom." She's like, "You're not working?" She says, "Are you going to be okay? Do you have enough money?" And we went from I'm watching a television show to I'm broke and in the poorhouse. And then she'd call another time and she'd say, are you in the middle? It sounds like you're in the middle of something. I said, I'm working. She goes, will you still love me when you're rich? She says, you're working too hard. You really need to slow down. I said, Mom, what is the happy medium in here?
Oh my God. Right?
No doubt. You can't win for losing here.
No doubt. I feel that feeling with you today, Doug. So I'm just giving you shit. I don't really feel that feeling. I just like it when you give me shit for being late and then give me shit for being early. And it is what it is.
I like to think of it more as he gave me an accolade for being early.
I was just about to say that. I was not, I'm going to use an SAT word. I was not castigating you, Strickland. I was more praising Sally for her ability to, because honestly, Strick, you're not normally even a couple minutes early. So there had to be a reason to be a couple of minutes early. And, you were flexing your calendar muscles there so that Sally could enjoy it as well.
I was just too excited.
Understand.
Welcome back. My name's Strickland Bonner. On the other side of the microphone, Mr. Doug Sandler and special guest star Sally today.
So it's not even like she's on the third side of the microphone. She is kind of like the, let me think about this. You know what a scalene triangle is, Sally?
No, I know what an isosceles is and an acute is.
I forget which triangle, but when you said isosceles, that might have been more of what I was thinking, but it could be scalene. It's where one of the angles is significantly less than 45 degrees. That
Yeah.
means
Wait,
that
which of us is significantly less here?
well, less is
Yeah.
in a good thing here. Just so you know.
Okay.
So it's the tangent. It's how close are you to Strickland? Much closer than a regular angle of 45 or a third side of the microphone would be.
It's true.
And I am
So that's like two different $2 words you've used today, Doug. Does that mean this is going to be a $4 episode?
I am I've been fighting something. Flu, head cold. I don't know what it is, but the last 3 days, I think I might have slept solidly maybe 3 hours straight before having to
No.
wake up and cough because like I hate that.
Ooh, that's the worst.
And I've had like 5 meetings today, and they're all like the kind of meetings that you need to be on for, you know. So
Do you want my crazy cure? My crazy homeopathic pick
sure.
it in the okay. So
Probably doesn't involve
raw
Fireball, right?
garlic. Raw garlic.
That would make me so ill. Just the thought of the smell of raw garlic in my brain right now is just like it's nauseating to me. I love garlic, but right now it's like I'm a pregnant woman and I do not like pickles.
Can't even think about it. I'm telling you though, if I feel something coming on, I'll start raw garlic, crush it up, put it on toast, a clove 3 times a day, and it kills it because garlic is antimicrobial, antibacterial, and antiviral.
It scares the shit out of my body. I would imagine that would be oh God. Okay, well, I appreciate that. Now, Sally, I know you were here for bigger reasons. If we were discussing the last couple of weeks a whole bunch of things, did you want to add to
apparently. So I haven't been calling in because I've been busy, and I live with one of the main fuckery generators. So I've I've fallen off of my voicemail train. What are you doing?
I'm just getting nice and close to the mic.
Oh, okay.
That's
But Doug said he could hear me.
that? No, you were doing fine. You were fine.
Yeah, but if
Strickland
you're
will
too far away, then
will-
I got to edit. And I don't want to
Oh,
edit.
okay.
Yeah, I
We don't
get
want to edit. And Strickland, you did a very good job of basically covering some of the overarching themes of alcoholism addiction. But I'm curious if there were specific questions that anyone wanted elaborated on.
Help me because you're going to have to remind me of what I even said even a couple of weeks ago. I remember the subject of alcoholism came up. I remember I talked about things like, if Strickland is drinking in front of you, is that kind of tempt you to want? Are there different levels? Is alcoholism a disease that is different than any other addiction? So there's a whole bunch of stuff that's wrapped up into that. Did I strike upon the major subjects that I think I may have brought up though?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. I was like, who's going to remember what the fuck anybody talked about?
I think that encapsulated things. I don't think I have everything in there, but I think I got some stuff in there.
There were lots of questions though. And first and foremost, I want to provide a disclaimer that this is my experience as an individual who has struggled with alcohol and drugs. I do describe myself as a recovering addict. That is a process that is ongoing and never over. Some people, there are as many paths to truth and completion as there are people in the world to find them. What worked for me was something that was pretty defined and inflexible, especially at the beginning, to say none. I can't have any. Because that was one of your questions. Can you have can you be an alcoholic and have a drink?
Right. And by the way, Nice Guy community, I just want to emphasize this. Past performance does not create future results. So make sure that you check with a professional before you attempt this on your own. So the question was, can you be an alcoholic, not go cold turkey, but have a drink every once in a while? Or is that just not even a possible thing?
In my experience, you can do that and try to live within parameters that you set for yourself. And I have some friends who do that, but that does not give you the benefits that a life of sobriety gives you. Most of us who are in recovery are there because we did not we were not on a winning streak.
And
things
is
were
it
not
is it moderation
going
is
well.
not your moderation is not your friend?
Moderation, anybody who can do moderation, I am in awe of, because there is a chemical, and Erica touched on this a little bit. There is a chemical response in the brains of alcoholics where when you introduce alcohol into the system, your brain just goes, more, I need more, I need more, I need more. And I remember that so very clearly. There's a saying, one drink was too much and 10 wasn't enough. Like that was very much my experience. And the the people who can moderate, um I'm not going to speak for them because I'm not one of them, but I know that my life would be full of counting my drinks and when can I drink and making excuses to go and have my one drink that I'm allowed to have. And
It's like
eliminating
a
that.
Weight Watcher with those fucking points. That's
Oh, yeah,
how many
like
points do I have left today? I'm like, you have no points left over.
yeah, or using other things to replace that. So I worked a program myself and went cold turkey, and I never want to drink again. I had the desire to drink removed pretty early on, and it was kind of hard to be around people who were celebrating, and I would throw myself a little pity party of, oh, I don't get to have champagne at New Year's. But that very quickly turned into, oh, well, I get to remember what the fuck I did last night.
Right.
And I have more fun as a sober woman than I ever had when I was drinking. And Strickland can attest to that. And in fact, Strickland's daughter, we went to Vegas together. And when we got back, she was like, I have never seen someone have that much fun. And you weren't even drinking. Now,
Right.
yep. That's
well, I think that also you get the energy of someone that has drinks or is high or whatever it is. I'm not saying that you want to mimic negative behavior, but at the same time, if you're out with somebody that's partying, you tend to get a contact high, not because of the alcohol or the drugs, but because of it's a contact attitude, right?
Sure. And when I drank, that did not enhance the fun that I was having. I drank to escape my head, where I was very, very mean to myself. And I drank so that at the end, especially, I drank because I felt like that was the alternative to ending my life. And now, when I have that feeling of fun, that elation, I never got that from booze. I really didn't. So yeah.
Well, is it easier? Or I'm going to ask a loaded question here. Is it easier to have a partner that doesn't drink, or does it not matter because you're in a different headspace now?
Again, I think that depends on the person. For me personally, I don't think that it would make a difference at this point at almost 10 years of sobriety. Early on, when I was trying to quit, I asked my partner, please don't have any alcohol in the house. And then that changed to, you can have alcohol in the house, but please don't let it be a bottle that stays around. Like you can have a beer, because I know I can't open that and have that, but don't have like the vodka sitting around for me to be tempted by. And that changed into, hey, do what you want. I'm cool. Because the impulse, the desire for it, it's gone.
When you about the support, there's AA, and then there's Al-Anon for relatives and friends that are associating with someone that might have alcoholism. How much of a benefit was that to you, that support, not just from AA but from Al-Anon itself?
I actually went to some Al-Anon meetings way before I went into another support program. And there is a tradition of Alcoholics Anonymous, which is a great program. There are 12 traditions, and one of them is that we shall remain anonymous at the level of press, radio, and film. So I'll just say I am a member of a 12-step support group and not get specific, but that support group was vital. The thing that happened for me was I came into a meeting and it was a bunch of old dudes sitting around, and I was like, oh, great, this is going to be super helpful. But the guy across from me, he had this ZZ Top beard, and he was wearing sunglasses inside, and he was grizzled. And, I was like, what is going on here? But he opened up his mouth and started sharing about how he had felt as a kid, that there was something wrong with him, that he needed to be fixed, and shared his story of how he started drinking and how that drinking progressed. And it was my story. And man, it was powerful. And that has been my experience in many different countries. I've gone to meetings all over the place, and you walk in and you share something, and around the circle, you see these heads going, yeah, yeah. And sometimes it's the most fucked up stuff you can imagine. And you're no longer singular. The me has changed to a we. And that is what I was searching for all along, but didn't know it.
Well, it sounds amazing that you can't judge a book by its cover. It sounds like that first meeting that you walked into, you're like,
oh man,
you wouldn't have picked it, but to see it after, to look back and say, well, that's exactly where I needed to be and when I needed to be there.
Yep, that was it.
I think in Strickland and I, the only thing that we have that can relate to that all over the world is Denny's or strip joints.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Denny's. What do you order? Do you have a regular order at Denny's?
No, but you can go to Denny's everywhere. Strickland shares this all the time. The only consistent thing about Denny's is that what, Strick?
The only thing you should expect from a Denny's is that it be open. That's
Right,
it. You don't want to
right.
expect good food or good service or anything else, just that it is open.
Strick, were there questions that you had as you got into the relationship with Sally that you were curious about, that you had to ask her before you made sure you didn't fuck the relationship up by doing
Yeah.
something you shouldn't have done? And I'm just curious if I can get an insider's perspective for a second. What were the questions, if you remember any of them?
Well, it was a lot of that kind of thing. Sensitivity to, hey, look, is it okay if I have a drink? Because I'm okay abstaining. I don't really care. It's not that big a deal. And I don't want to trigger you or make you, feel like you want
Right.
to have a drink. Whatever may happen. And so there was a lot of that early on, asking and reconfirming and making sure everything was good. And sometimes you'll get an answer from somebody when you're first getting to know them that is an answer that you want to hear because they don't
Right.
want to offend. And so I was kind of keeping an eye out for that type of thing. Like, okay, is she saying this to be polite or is it really all good? And I, after a while, I realized, yeah, it all seems to be pretty good. But me, I mean, I'm very sensitive to that. And I enjoy having a drink, or, other imbibements every once in a while, but I don't really need it. I don't really care if I don't have it. It's just not a big deal.
So Sally, how does this carry over to the rest of your anything that you would consume? Is it anything that was potentially addictive or mind changing is off the table? Is that how it works?
It is alcohol and drugs that are not prescribed to me, or taking a drug prescribed to me not as prescribed. Those are my parameters. When I first got sober, I wouldn't even take cough medicine because it gave me that sensation of being a little fuzzy around the edges.
Enough of that fuzziness that you felt like
Yeah.
this is too close.
Yeah. It's like, oh, well, maybe if 2 tablespoons does this, I should double it. So yeah, that took a little bit of time, but for me, like I drink kombucha, and
there's
that has
is
trace-
some natural fermentation to
there's
to it.
trace alcohol in that, and that doesn't cause any kind of problem for me. But back to what Strickland was saying, I think it would have made a difference for me if he drank in a different way. Like saying that I was all right with it, and him being specific about the questions and being frequent about the questions. That was super helpful, and knowing that I could say anything at any time if I was uncomfortable. But y'all, he's such a goddamn adorable little fireball shooter.
That little
Yeah, but
fucker.
if there was if my radar was going off, I was like, oh, he might have a problem, or Or if he hadn't asked if it was all right, all these things might have changed how I feel about it. But
Well, it seems like it's the sensitivity to the subject that's more of the turn on than the actual fact that, okay, he doesn't. It's just as okay to have somebody that's as sensitive than to somebody that's abstains completely because they have
totally.
addictive behavior.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of addictive behavior, you were uh, in one of the episodes, it was like, if you are an addict of alcohol, or are you an addict of all things? Um,
Right, right. That was one of my questions. I think I had that.
yeah, yeah. In my experience, if you have an addictive personality, that's one thing. But alcoholism and drug addiction are the other thing. I think you can be a gambling addict and not have a problem with substances. I think you can be a shopping addict and an alcoholic and not have a problem with sex addiction, sex and love addiction, or something like that. So, um,
I'm building up to addiction right now. I'm trying really. I'm working my way there. It requires a little bit of extra effort on my behalf, though.
And
so
it's
you're
really hard to do within monogamy the way that you are very adept towards. So
Monogamy. How about asexual? It's even hard asexually. It's like, God, I just can't get enough of myself.
oh my God.
So on Succession, which is, I don't know if you've been listening the last couple of weeks, but I've been a little obsessive about Succession. Is
Yeah.
there a
You watch that
character
one?
that you?
I haven't watched it,
Oh, you haven't seen it yet. So
but I
yeah,
listened to
I
the
guess I should
episode.
have started there. Yeah, there's a character in there that walks you through some of his issues that he has, and he meets several partners along the way that have either alcohol or drug addictions. And he's like, yeah, I've cut way back. It's like, no, he still has a major issue. He's just not facing reality. There's probably a lot of people that are in recovery that are trying to rationalize within their own head that it's okay to have a drink or two, and maybe at some point it is okay in moderation, but they're not at that stage of the healing journey yet to really be able to make that judgment about themselves. Are they just lying to themselves?
I cannot answer that question for those people. Um, but my impulse is to say, yeah, you're trying to control something that controls you, and it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't work that way. And there are benefits of sobriety, and in one program there are specific promises that come true when you work steps, and those things can't come to fruition for you if you're still using alcohol. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what it is for people who are truly alcoholics. I don't think you can be a true alcoholic and have any alcohol in your life. I think you can have a drinking problem, and maybe that can work for you. But if you are an alcoholic, your the things you're going to do to get that drink and the reason why you're drinking, which is what we address in the support group that I go to. Like, we drink for a reason, any number of reasons. Me drank to shut up the voice in my head, but there are no alcoholic who's trying to control their drinking is drinking because they like it and it's fun. They're drinking because they need it.
Yeah, they're numbing, they're
Yeah.
avoiding,
Yeah.
they're
Or
deflecting.
they think, I can't be a fun, outgoing person without this. This is my social courage. And that has been the exact opposite for me.
Is it I'm trying to figure out the wording of this question, but I guess I'm just going to figure out, we'll stumble through it and then you'll interpret it the way that you need to so that you can answer the question for me, I'm sure. Is it obvious to people around alcoholics that they have an alcohol problem, or can somebody get away with it their entire life and somebody wouldn't know, even as somebody as close as a spouse or a child?
Have you been talking to my ex?
No, I have no idea why.
So yeah, it absolutely is possible. At the end of my drinking, I was drinking a handle of vodka a day, which I
What's
kept.
a handle? How much is that? I don't know how much that is.
Uh,
Is that
the
2 750 bottles?
1.75 liter?
yes,
Yeah. So that's the 1.75 liter. So that's like
That's
more
like a
than
gallon.
2 regular fifths bottles.
Yeah.
Wow.
A day. Well, I say a day. So I would leave 2 or 3 shots in the bottom because I needed those in the morning to get me to the liquor store. Um, and I kept that underneath the driver's seat in my car.
Oh my God.
I did not have it in the house, and I would go get lunch and ask for a large Diet Coke with extra ice, drink the Diet Coke, fill it up with vodka, bring it into work.
Shit, that Diet Coke, that'll
Drink
kill
it.
you. That'll kill you, Sally. You really shouldn't have that much Diet Coke.
Tell me about it. I've switched to Coke Zero. Very, very health conscious.
How can anyone, I mean, you got to build up to that, I would assume. How do you even function on a handle of alcohol, of vodka?
It just became my normal.
Would you not be
And yeah,
again, help
I
me with
needed,
help me with logistically for a moment. How do you not stumble? How do you get anything done? I mean, is that the definition of functional alcoholic? Somebody that can drink that much and not completely just evaporate during their day?
yeah, towards the end of the day. So I would get home and I would drink a sparkling water, and then I would find excuses during the evening to go out to my car to fill that can up with the vodka, hiding it from my spouse. Um, And there are times where I would get drunk enough that I would slur, and I would be trying so hard to make sure that I was speaking without that. And I mean, you just take smaller steps if you don't
Right.
want to fall over. You just take smaller steps.
You're talking about literally. I was talking about smaller steps, maybe to graduate to I mean, how long does it
No.
take you to graduate to that much alcohol without? I mean, if I have a drink, I'm feeling pretty high. If I have 2 drinks, I mean, Strickland has been out with me before. I don't think I've ever ordered more than 2 drinks ever at a bar.
That's so cute, Giggle Doug.
So how do you work your way up? I mean, you got to practice that alcohol muscle, drinking that much, and then how do you not feel sick all the time?
I started drinking when I was 14. Um, and then I swore off of it because I immediately knew it was a problem. But when I went to college, I started back up again. And it just was normal to me. So I drank for um 16 years after that. I was 36 when I got sober. Uh so
And have you again? I don't want to dig too deep into some of the medical stuff, but how do you drink that long without completely wrecking your liver, your organs, anything like that? Or are you dealing with all that shit now?
yeah, also some people, I mean, my physiology was like alcohol is your friend. I come from hardworking German peasant stock, like Scandinavian mead drinkers. And I have told Strickland, I have had maybe 2 hangovers in my life. I've only thrown up from drinking once. And I should have many, many times before with the amount that I was drinking, but my body just like knew what to do with that shit. I didn't have health implications except for I was super duper overweight because I never exercised.
So when I think about like when we were in college and people used to do like beer bongs and that kind of stuff. When somebody was doing that, every once in a while you'd hear the ambulance pull up to the front of the dorms and take the kid to the hospital because they had alcohol poisoning. And all of that drinking that you did, you never had alcohol poisoning?
I bet I did sometimes. I
Yeah.
bet that I did. But you know what's funny? You talk about like drinking at parties. I drank in closets. I did not, I mean, I would publicly have a drink or 2, but then I would like fill up a solo cup with straight liquor and go to the bathroom to down it.
So to the
That's
outside,
how I needed to
world,
drink.
to the outside world, you were a moderate drinker. To
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
closet, though, they're like, oh well, you're back, right? I mean,
Right. Yeah. But my spouse at the time that I quit, when I said, I'm gonna go to a meeting because I think I'm an alcoholic. He was like, okay, and it he had not realized that it was at the point that it was. And I don't know if that's because I did such a great job trying to hide it, or if he didn't notice what was going on, or I think it's probably some combination of the two. But what he did notice were the changes that happened in me when I got sober.
And were they to the positive for him, or did they like, hey, I like drunk Sally. I want her back.
Both. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he did say something kind of amazing, which um, I think I had a couple months, and he said, I feel like you're becoming the person I always knew you could be.
Mm.
And he acknowledged that that was a good thing. But yeah, there was downsides to it as well, because I had the appropriate boundaries and energy to address things that previously I would have just drank about.
So when you stopped drinking and your, let's call it, your drunk goggles came off, did you say, who the fuck did I marry? Or
Huh.
how did, like, what was that all about? How did that, because you're a different, not you, but one is I would assume, and again, not with any personal experience of my own that I would know, but I would assume one is a very different person drunk or as an alcoholic than one is as a significantly sober person that's never taking a drink again. Different person, right?
Absolutely. But I think about all the different ways that that happens for people. I mean, rarely do you marry someone and 10 years later, are you the same person? You've gone through something formative. You've read a book. You've um, started a spiritual program.
That's true.
Uh,
That's true. There,
we
it's just a
we
different. It was
all
just. It's an obvious pin dropped in the relationship. Oh, alcohol? No alcohol, but it could be the same. Found yoga, didn't have
Mhm.
yoga. Had
Yeah, no,
meditation, didn't have
seriously.
meditation.
Absolutely. And the person that I became was met with mixed reviews by a lot of people in my life.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine that everybody that was in your life when you were an alcoholic that used to, well, you were a closet drinker, so it wasn't like you were going out and partying with people. So was there an old crowd that you needed to leave behind?
No, there's a lot of recovery in my family, my um nuclear and slightly extended family. Um so I had a lot of support there.
Yeah.
Also active addiction in my family, because it tends to be like you're over it or you're not. But we do have some normies as well. Um,
Very binary family, on or off, right?
yeah,
Either on
yeah,
or off. Are you addicted? Are you straight? Are you not addicted?
yeah. Um, what was the question you asked?
I don't know. This is
Okay.
fascinating conversation. This
Oh,
is
good.
I mean, I so appreciate not only you sharing, but you being as open and honest as you have been in sharing. Because I know that there's a lot of people that are out there that have people in their family that are dealing with this right now, and they don't know really where to go to get help, or maybe they know, but they don't know how to do it. When you
Mhm.
decided to get into a 12-step program, not to mention any particular programs, you didn't, doesn't sound like you had to have an intervention. It sounds like you intervened yourself, or did somebody
On
need
my
to?
own behalf. Well, I had a failed suicide attempt,
Mm,
and I knew that I couldn't keep going the way that things were going. And so I became willing to try anything, anything else. And
yeah.
I thought maybe I could quit drinking if I went to these meetings. I didn't think that I could quit drinking and be as happy as I am. I didn't think I could quit drinking and be working towards these goals that I thought I couldn't achieve. Um,
Meaning if you quit drinking, you wouldn't be numb. So
yeah,
you were going to be sad because you couldn't stop those voices in
correct.
that negative. thought loop in your brain.
Yeah. Which I mean, as previously stated, I drank to escape and I did other things to escape. Um, but what recovery has done for me is let me sit with discomfort, and sit with grief and sit with disappointment and sit with mistakes and not need to take the edge off of those things, be able to see them for what they are and how they balance the world and my life and my relationships.
Well, continue on this journey. It's fascinating, and I hope you don't mind. Every once in a while, I want to ask more questions as they come up in my head, because I know
Absolutely.
there's a lot of that
Yeah.
happens where you just like, oh well, I wonder how Sally would. I don't have anyone that's close to me that is in an active recovery process, and
Yeah.
sounds like when you're in recovery, you're always in recovery. There's not I have recovered. There's no recovered people, right?
One of my very best friends, um, who recently sadly passed away, used to say, I am a recovered alcoholic. My higher power has taken away the desire for alcohol. And so he described himself as recovered. So, again, something that's different for everybody. Um, but yeah, I'm recovering and I'm going to be recovering my whole life. But real quick, towards what you said about people who have someone in their life and they don't know what to do. Um, I do have it's not advice, but the wisdom that I have found is take care of yourself. I know you want to take care of this person who you love, but take care of yourself to the best of your ability and go to support meetings for yourself. Hold boundaries and love someone enough to not give in when you see something that you want to be different. I know that was really vague, but talk about how you feel and how their drinking makes you feel. And don't just talk about it once. And ask, can I help you get into a facility? Can I help you get into detox? Can I help you get a counselor? But don't do those things for them. You never have long term recovery if that
Right, right. You can't
that
help.
happens.
You can't recover for someone. They need to go. They need to admit it, and they
Yeah,
need to go
yeah,
to recovery on their own.
yeah.
What's your you move on to other subjects that I know that Strick and I want to talk about, and you of course are participating in this as well today because we got an election coming up. Got episodes of Succession I need to talk about. I have a inheritance update also.
Wee whoop, wee whoop, wee whoop.
I got a lot of weeb whoop going on here. Where would somebody go so that they can start the process, whether they are the supportive spouse or partner or sibling or whatever, or
Yeah,
they're the person themselves? What do they do?
there are great resources. SAMHSA is one. They have a hotline and they have a text line. Um, and you can
SAMHSA,
look them up.
SAMSA.
SAMHSA, I
Okay.
believe.
We'll put a
We're
Strick. Can we
looking
put
for
it? I know it might be a stretch, but can we put a link in the show notes this week?
Yeah, they're SAMHSA. So it's Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. And they have things that you can click on to get help. And there's a number of helplines on their site, as well as finding a treatment center, or there's a suicide and crisis line, I believe, on their site as well. So that can be a resource, whether
Right.
you are the addict or you are the family. But I will plug the Al Anon program. This program was born from the days when spouses would sit in a room while in the other room there was an AA meeting going on, and they realized, God damn it, we need some support too. Um, and it's
Right.
a really beautiful program. And if you end up feeling like meetings might help you, don't stop at one. Don't go to one and realize, oh, that didn't feel good. Keep going until you find one that fits for you, and be willing to try that out. I've seen it be amazingly helpful for any number of people.
All right. Well, Sally, thank you. Thanks for sharing all that stuff. Strickland, did I ask all the questions I think were on my agenda? Do you recall of any that I was thinking that I didn't ask?
Oh, that was like a week ago. I didn't remember, but I think you hit most of them. I think you hit most of them. Now I'm looking on the website. You can call or text 988 if you are in crisis or need some help. So it's kind of like a 911 call, but for your own personal crisis, your own personal emergency, dial or text, call or text 988.
Do we have one that's a direct hotline to the Nice Guys on Business 4242 DJ Doug line? Do we have any? Is that like
that is it exactly? 4242 DJ Doug, country code 1 if you are from outside of the United States. But don't expect to talk to a human being because Doug will never fucking answer that line.
It doesn't even ring. It doesn't even ring on my phone anymore. I just get the email that says you missed a call from. So, and I think we actually have a few voicemails from this past week. Did you look and see if there's any in there?
That is an excellent segue, Doug. That's why you are a professional because you know how to segue.
Strickland, I talked to somebody. I'll tell you this in between the break. It's fine. I'll tell you that later.
You'll let me play the voicemail from Jared Music, and then you will stop before the voicemails.
Because I had the idea already, I'm just going to continue on with the thought. I'll do it before. I'll think of something else. I'll interrupt. But today I interviewed on my Ford Mustang show. I interviewed a guy that has been a studio musician who actually now travels with a bunch of bands, old school bands.
Really?
For 50 plus years, he's been doing it.
What, like a band in particular or many different bands?
No, many different bands. He'll be the guy that they say, hey, we need a pro bass player to show up at this place at this time. I may or may not even have the music ahead of time for you. Can you be a bass player that could just literally just play by ear based upon what the who calls the music? Does the lead guitar player call the music?
It depends on the band, but I mean, there are guys out there that are that good and can do that, but it's hard. It's definitely hard. Has he played with any bands that we would know?
I didn't recognize any of the names. I know that he has played with like old school, like Doc Severinsen style bands, Tommy was it Tommy Newsom? Who was
Tommy Dorsey? No,
no. Who was the guy that filled in for Doc when Doc wasn't there on the Tonight Show?
Could you possibly fucking date yourself any more?
I'm pretty sure it was Tommy Newsom. I think that's probably who it was.
I don't know. Subbed in for fucking Doc Severinsen on Johnny Carson.
I'm saying it was that kind of guy. He played with those high end bands. Anyway, he's a studio musician that does some touring together. He only travels 50 weeks of the year, so it's
wow. Yeah, Tommy Newsom. Yes, that is correct.
Thank you. Anyhow, what was I saying? Oh, so anyway, I interviewed him. I thought I kept talking to him, and I'm thinking Strickland should be doing this interview. He could talk about Mustangs, but then we could get into the whole. He probably has every musical artifact in his brain like you do as well.
That's pretty cool. I actually met the guitar player for Steppenwolf.
Wow.
At the airport once. Now, I don't think he was the original guy. Right. But I'm trying to remember because he was carrying a guitar, like he was checking it on. And that's like a pro musician. I mean, you got to pay extra to carry your guitar on. And I was like, yeah, where you go? Oh, we're doing this. Like, what's the band? He's like, I don't know if you'd know it. Like, it's Steppenwolf. And I'm like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? But he talked like he was one of these guys. I mean, there's so many of these touring classic rock bands around where with one or no original members. Right. So it sounded like he had been with the band for a long time, but basically maybe the last 10 or 15, 20 years that he's the touring guy, right?
Is that like me filling in for the backing tracks, playing my DJ shot for the Guess Who when they showed up in DC in the DC area?
Right. What? Exactly. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I know. It was one gig. It was like the gig of a lifetime. The DJ wants to get this. You literally show up with your laptop, you plug into their entire system, you play whatever backing tracks that they wanted you to play. The band went through their couple of sets that they did in this corporate audience. I don't know, it was maybe 2,000 people at the event. After the event, all of them are signing autographs on the front line of the stage. And like I don't even know the lead singer's name, but he's like, "Hey DJ Doug, come on up, sign autographs with us." Like,
what?
That was cool.
That's amazing.
Cool. I felt like a rock star for 60 seconds of my 30 minutes. Anyhow, let's get into the voicemails.
All right. I don't know if I've got all of the knobs and buttons and settings right because we're not using headphones.
I
But here,
gotcha.
let's find out. You tell me if you hear it.
I do not hear it.
Oh man.
God damn it.
Voicemail from Jared.
Okay, I think I gotta change this one also then, and then
Okay.
we'll hear you in our headphones now, probably instead of.
Okay, let's try it.
All right, here we go.
We got a voicemail from Jared. I said a voicemail from Jared. You know a voicemail from Jared. 'Cause nobody else will call. We got a voicemail from Jared. Screw the rest of y'all.
You know, as it relates to what we talked about earlier, I wonder if there is a 12-step program to help you defer your addiction to Jared. It's possible, maybe. I don't know if it's possible. All right, let's do his voicemails.
Okay,
Or
here we
the
go.
voicemails. I
Hey,
don't
Doug,
even know
it's Rick
this.
Jared here.
It's Jared.
So,
Yeah, of course. The
There
first
he
one,
is.
as
Right.
correct, is
Jared.
hey, Doug, it's Rick Jared here. So I'm just enjoying listening to your trip to Costco and your case of toilet paper, like where we go put it. Then you get into TVs and you asked a question about what are you doing to your TVs that it only lasts a month or 3 months or whatever. Well, that happened to me. So I had a couple occurrences. So I had a Samsung. I splurged, bought a really big TV. I think it was 65, maybe 75 inches, like you were talking about. I think it was 65. Anyways, 13 months in, flames started sparking, smoke started coming out of the back.
whoa.
It looked like there was a little bit of a flame. Just had it plugged in and used it like normal. And I don't remember if it was on when that started happening or we just turned it on. But that was one experience, so a little longer than 3 months. But then I bought a Vizio because I was looking at going to 4K. So the other one I think might have been 1080p, but anyways. So I got a Vizio and dude, one of the biggest pieces of trash I ever had. So
Really?
within 3 months, the screen started flickering. In the first year of owning it. So thankfully it had a 1 year warranty. And that year they repaired it. I think it was 3 or 4 times and then ended up replacing it.
Oh my God.
And then as soon as it went out again, I just tossed it in the trash. I didn't pay to fix it or nothing like that. So I got a little over a year out of that TV. And, yeah, man, some of the products are just trash. Even if they make a good product, sometimes you get a trash one, but LG has kind of been my go-to TV. I had an old LG that lasted, I don't know, I had it, I think it was like 7 or 8 years and then gave it to my son. He had it for another 5 or 6. And then I tried the Samsung because I heard good things about that. And then I tried the Vizio and then I just went back and bought another LG and I've had that for several years now. So anyways, my TV story. So, but yeah, sometimes they're just crap, man. Sometimes they're just crap. Anyways, guys, love the show and enjoyed today. So, well, I usually enjoy listening to you guys. I don't know why. That must be some kind of a mental condition or something. All right, folks. See you later. Bye.
3 or 4 repairs in a year. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
After
I
a
have
TV that catches on fire.
Right?
I have a TCL, and that's what I have in my. It's kind of like the Roku TV. It comes with the Roku remote.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I've never had any issues with it. I mean, maybe we don't watch enough television to have issues with our television. I don't know. And now that I've said it, it might blow up. I remember I went to a camp one time, and did you ever use, Strick, with your band equipment, Furman power conditioners? They're like the plug-in things.
Yeah.
So I plugged it in. It must have been, it was probably, I think it was plugged in outside. So I plugged it into the outlet outside. As soon as I plugged it in on the other side where the power wart is, the thing that you plug all the stuff into,
Mhm.
it literally went up into flames. So
Oh
I'm
my God.
like, okay, something's wrong with the outlet. So I unplugged it, and it's like, it's all charred and everything. So I plugged it into another one. I flipped the switch on. It still worked, and I still
Wow.
have it to this day, and I've used it since 2001, and I've never had
Wow. Wow, that's pretty crazy.
I really wanted to write an email to the Furman Power people. Even on fire, this thing still works.
That's crazy. Yeah, I think I had a Vizio TV once, and I think it was kind of a piece of crap. But I've got a Sony. I don't know. I've had it at least 2 or 3 years. I think. I don't know. Maybe longer. I don't remember. But I haven't had any trouble with it.
Your
I don't know,
Vizio
Jared.
turned blue, right?
Yeah, I think that may be the one that turned blue. Mm-hmm.
I think Jared, maybe either your wife or your kids are throwing shit at your television set when you're not
I'm
around.
not telling you. I've never had a TV smoke or actually catch fire though. So that's a good one.
No, I completely agree. I think somebody's doing something in my town because over the last couple of weeks, my internet connection is your TV a smart TV? Is it connected wireless to your internet?
Yeah.
I think they've either converted everything to 5G and we just didn't catch up yet. Like, is everything in your town 5G now?
Yeah, but I've been here for 2 years and it's a pretty new community. So I had 1 gig service when I first moved in and I've always had it. So
my hardwire line to my to my modem for my computer is solid, but everything else, like my phone, if I'm on Wi-Fi, sucks now. Don't know.
Well, I've got my TV hardwired too. Like anything I can hardwire, I do to save the Wi-Fi for, phones and shit.
Well, thank you, Jared, for you updating us about your shit television sets. Sorry you're dealing with such havoc in your house. All right, let's get into voicemail number 2.
Okay.
Hey, Doug. Hey, Strick. Erica here.
Hi.
I think it's going to be voicemail number 1 and only. I'm not sure. I'm partway into the podcast hitting pause so I can comment on something you just said, Doug. And we'll see how it goes for the rest of the podcast. And maybe I'll call back for number 2. I'm not sure.
That's a big
anyway,
setup.
This one is
nice setup.
Pertaining to your idea about the inheritance and really wanting something from your aunt and uncle out of the house and not being able to get it now because everything's sold. So here's my idea. And I know that you're in Ojai, and I know that house, I believe, is somewhere in the Hollywood or LA area. So I know it's not that far from you. So why don't you and JJ take a little afternoon trip and go down to that house and take a photo of yourself in front of the house. And while you're there, you would just so happen to have a small, tiny, I don't know, handheld, what do you call them, a spade like that you dig in the ground with in your back pocket. And you just so happen to bend over and dig up maybe a plant from the yard, confiscate it, and bring it home. And then you can plant it in a planter and have that to remember them by. I don't know. It's just an idea because I figure where there's a will, there's a way. And that was not a pun.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Meaning will, but it means that too. I think that's what you should do. So anyway, that's my 2 cents for the day. Love you guys. Love the show. Bye.
I think the only thing to add to that, if you're in the will, there's a way. I think that's what it is. But what a great idea, Erica. I think about my uncle and aunt's house, and they have this huge row of hedges on the front of their house. And hedges are those kind of things that you could dig up a little piece and have it as a cutting and could absolutely grow that. What a great idea. I'm going to do that. And I could even do that when the new owners get in. I could even just say, hey, look, my uncle owned this house. Would you be okay if I took a cutting? Nobody's going to care. No. I just hate to sneak around on the property and have some neighbor either report me or have a guard dog. Well,
I was wondering where she was going with that. It's like, if when you're taking the picture, if in your back pocket you happen to have a small sledgehammer and you wanted to throw it through the window, and then it's not breaking and entering anymore because you just walk through the window.
That is very true. That is very true. Well, would now be the best time to give you a inheritance update?
I think. Yeah,
So,
I think Erica set it up very nicely for you.
Thank you, Erica. I appreciate that. Thank you, Sally, for the weeb whoop. So, because my mom is getting a little antsy, not because of anything that I've motivated her into being nervous at all, but she's like, hey, look, if I don't get this money before I die, then I think I have to give half of it away to somebody else that you probably, Doug, don't want me to give it to. So let's make sure I get the money before I die. I'm like, okay, well, I'll send an email to the attorney. So I emailed the attorney yesterday, and let me read the response.
Hey, can you send me the address of the place? I want to look it up on like Zillow or something.
Sure. Let me.
I mean, you could say it, but our thousands and thousands of fans might go running over there.
Yeah, we don't want everybody digging up my uncle's lawn. Hold on a second. Let me get it on Zillow, and I will just share with you the thing. Hold on a second. The what is it called? A link. The listing. The listing. Let me go to my saved homes. The weird thing about here. Let me. I don't want to be a what's it called, a spoiler here. So let me first click on it. God, my use of technology is not good. Share it. Go to my messages. Send it to Strickland. Okay.
You can just put it in the chat. We are in a Zoom right now.
I was on here though. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to get it from my computer to my phone to my computer.
So now I got to pull it up on my phone instead of on the computer.
You're gonna be all right.
Fine. I can do it over. Okay.
Okay. Anyway, inheritance update. Here it is. So I wrote the attorney. I said, hope all is well. Hey, can you provide an update on a name address here? I've been watching Zillow, but didn't see the property has been listed yet. If you prefer, I reach out to name of person who is executor of will. I did not mention him. I can do that. But since you're receiving your last communication on August 27th, I wanted to make sure that I'm going through the proper channels to get the information. Trying not to piss off anybody in this process. Mm-hmm. So the email back was, there is a sale pending. I do not have a closing date.
Oh, wow.
That is the very latest. I would get 3 sentences. That's all it's the only 3 sentences that I needed. It was very nice. But look at the picture. You can see immediately from the picture. You can't even see the house because they got so many hedges in front.
Nice hedge.
Dude, but hold on. Okay. We're looking at the price, right?
Right.
Oh, that's really cool. But you said it's a tear down, right? In other words, somebody would pay that much money for it. And basically that's what the land is worth. They would just tear the house down.
That is
correct.
It's
almost 4,000 square feet.
I know.
And the house looks like it was made in late 60s, early 70s, maybe?
I think it was 1940 something. The house was built.
40s. Okay. But I mean, it looks like it's in good shape. It's a nice place.
Yeah, but Strick, I don't know if you've recertified your termite certification or anything like that. Have you re-upped your home improvement contractor's license? Because I was in the house and the house is basically falling down.
Oh, okay.
It's so cute.
I know. It's a really nice house, and in its day was really 70s and 80s and 90s. It was sweet. I mean, it was super nice. Great pool outside, out back, beautiful view. Enough land that you don't have to be right up on top of your neighbor, but close enough so you feel like you're in a community. Just beautiful, like living room, huge kitchen, all of the stuff.
Damn, look at that location.
Yeah, because it is like literally 3 blocks off of Sunset Boulevard.
I know.
I mean, it is like the foot of the Hollywood Hills.
Yep, totally.
You could like walk to the Sunset Strip from there.
And he did. My uncle did. He was a lover of ice cream, and there was an ice cream shop right at the corner of that road and Sunset, and he used to go there every night, which is probably why he weighed maybe close to 400 pounds.
I feel like I need to make a pilgrimage. I love ice cream so much.
Wow.
I do too. You mean a pilgrimage there? Or I don't even know that ice cream store is even around anymore.
An ice cream pilgrimage in general just sounds like
kind of like a ice cream crawl.
That's what I'm
ice
talking
cream
about.
crawl.
That's a great idea.
Let's do it.
That is a great idea. I would be happy to tour. I would have to tour famous non-dairy ice cream outlets. Now, but
no dairy for you?
I can eat dairy. Dairy just hates the fuck out of me.
Gotcha.
But you go to like even Ben and Jerry's nowadays, they have a handful of really good non-sorbet type of like cashew butter or almond butter or coconut milk ice creams. So I don't even miss ice cream anymore. I used to really miss the shit out of it though.
That's excellent. But I was going to make a joke about it missed the shit out of you, but no.
Yeah, it got the shits out of me for sure. I can tell you that. Pretty cool house though, isn't it, Strick?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how far it was from the Pink Pony Club. But yeah, I don't think the Pink Pony Club actually exists in West Hollywood.
Yeah, but Pink's still exists. So if you look up Pink's, which is like a amazing hot dog stand in
Really?
West Hollywood. Yeah, it's been around. I think since I don't know. We'd have to have that fact checker come in.
Okay,
Which brings
hot dogs and ice cream.
Okay,
Pilgrimage.
I'm in. Count me in. Worldwide tour. I'm ready to go.
All right, we'll come and visit.
Talk about fact checking. Let's get into our next subject, which is the election that's coming up.
Before we listen to the third voicemail.
Oh yeah,
we should probably get through the third voicemail before we get into election shit.
That is true, and we do have a team meeting in 35 minutes, so we are short on time. We may not get there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is going to be our last chance because after the next recording, it's going to be post-election, and all the shit that we're going to talk about goes right out the window because it just don't fucking matter anymore.
Well, we'll make our predictions then. Okay.
Okay.
Like
Hello,
right now,
Doug.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, we got Emily here. We got Emily. This is important.
Hello, Doug. Hello, Strickland. It's Emily. Long time no chat. In fact, I looked back at my outgoing call records, and oh dear, I just got off on the wrong exit. I'm driving. Well, anyway,
it's a good thing she's got plenty of water.
And it appears the last time I called you was actually 9/27. So I'm right on date for an entire month later. Anyway, reason I'm calling, I want to know how you feel about tailgating. Someone is riding the back of my car right now, and I just want to slam on my brakes.
Oh, that kind of tailgating.
Secondly, my other question, or my other idea to call, was because, I don't know, a month ago, you guys talked about the show Nobody Wants This with Kristen Bell and the other blonde chick doing a podcast. I watched the entire thing in 2 nights. I don't know if I can't tell if I hate watched it or if I watched it because I actually enjoyed it, but I did finish it. And it appears that Kristen Bell has had some work done on her face, I think.
Yeah, I was
which was interesting.
Still hot, yeah.
And I liked her sister, I think, better than her. Oh my gosh, this girl is now confused. Okay, well, that's enough of that because I'm driving. But anyway, great. Thanks for the show recommendation. It's been on my list for a month, and I finally finished the entire thing this weekend. I think the real reason I'm calling is because I missed you guys, and I haven't talked to you in a long time. So hi, hello, hope all is well. Cannot wait to hopefully reconvene there.
We miss you too, Emily.
Is Kristen Bell, is she married to Dax Shepard?
That's correct.
Okay, so hold up. She's too young to have had any work done. I'm looking at her face on her Instagram.
She looks
channel.
young. She has looked young for a long time, but
you know what? She might have had. I'm looking at one of her photos on Instagram, and she may have had some cheek work done. Maybe.
I mean,
maybe a nose tuck.
No, but
some
when
filler.
we watched 2 episodes and just didn't get back to it. I thought the same thing when I saw her. She's 44.
Okay, she's old enough to have had some work done.
She's my age.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she's tiny. She's 5'1".
Oh yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
She's very tiny.
I'd still do her.
Emily just introduced a new term to me: hate watch.
Hate watch.
Hate watch. Oh God, yeah.
And there was a couple, and I'm trying to remember what. Oh, you know what? I think I hate watched, and I can't recall if this is true or not, but I really didn't like thinking back. I have to look at my journey of life and looking at the television shows that I've watched. I think I would like to have back the time that I invested in Baby. What the hell was it?
Baby Reindeer.
Baby Reindeer.
Oh my God, that's so goddamn funny because you recommended it like months ago, right?
Yeah, maybe.
But you kind of told me, and I was like, I don't know. I watched literally 10 minutes of the first episode, and I went, fuck no, I am not going to watch one more minute of this.
That's the one with the stalker?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know why I was attracted to that show. You know why? Because I hadn't discovered, I probably didn't have another show on queue, and I needed to really convince myself that I needed to watch another series.
I'm just angry that they would mislead us like that. A title like Baby.
I know that to me was the biggest buzzkill of it all. Sorry, we're using all of these terms that I should not be. Tailgating, buzzkill. There's a lot of shit that we have said. I was expecting a whole different show. Don't call it Baby Reindeer. It was neither about babies nor reindeers. So not good.
And it took you how many episodes to realize that?
All of them.
All of them. Yes.
All of them. All of them. Not good. Not good.
Yeah, I was very glad that I kind of got the quickie synopsis from you before I started watching, because otherwise I would have stayed till at least the end of the first episode. And I feel like at the end of that, I would have been like, where is this going? And I might have watched another one and I would have been disappointed.
All right. Well, we got really two choices here. We could either get into Succession or we could get into the election. So, and wow, that almost rhymes there. I think it would probably be better to get into the election. We can always talk about Succession because it's a timeless evergreen series.
Okay.
But this topic is not going to be evergreen because we're going to run out of runway in 3 days after this episode airs, because the Tuesday is coming, or 4 days.
Yes, it is deciduous.
Mm-hmm.
So what is going on, Strickland? Bring me up to date.
Let's see. Bringing you up to date. Donald Trump is still the piece of shit that he always was, and he hasn't stopped lying. He's just leaned in and done it more. And I think Kamala Harris is doing much better than Joe Biden would have been doing at this point in the race. But there are people out there, millions and millions of them apparently, who watch Fox News and won't consider watching anything else. So what they believe is what they hear on Fox News. So it's basically still a toss-up, I think.
So we're in crapshoot situation right now. We are literally 50% of the population is for him. 50% is for Harris. What the hell is going to happen?
So, what's actually really interesting is, well, first of all, I just happened, as we were talking about, I got a beep. Then an article came up and said, historian who correctly predicted 9 of the last 10 presidential elections picks Harris still. So that's interesting. I mean, I don't think it really says anything, but okay. You can bet on the election now. Like there are some off-seas sites.
Do they give you that and points, right? Or is it?
Well, you're legally in the U.S. you can't, but apparently these sites. What's really interesting is they're giving Trump like a 63% chance, but you can also bet on the popular vote, like who will get more actual votes, and that, even for the betting lines, is 50-50, which is just fucking sad.
So
the Electoral College is so goddamn broken.
All right. So let's call it. Let's do what they would normally do on let's come up with is it pontification or prediction?
Yeah, we're pontificating on who's going to win. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, let's do this. There's 3 of us here. So let's memorialize this. I'll write this down. I'll probably lose this note by Tuesday. But okay, I got Sally. I got Strick. How do you spell my name?
D-O-U-G-H.
All right, we got. Thank you. Yeah, I got it. That's how every Starbucks and pizza joint spells my name.
Exactly.
Right. We have 2 things. We have the Electoral College and we have popular vote. All right, we're going to start with EC and popular. All right, Sally, Electoral College, Trump or Harris?
I'm going to manifest this shit. Harris.
Okay. All right. Popular vote.
Again, with the Harris.
Okay. All right. Strickland, Electoral College.
Yeah, I'm with Sally on this. I'm going Harris all the way. Now, it could just be because I'm wishful thinking and that's what I want to have happen. But let's put it this way. I would be extremely disappointed, but not terribly surprised if Trump won the Electoral College, but I would be very surprised if he won the popular vote. So let's at least say that. Like, if we're going for that long shot bet, I would say 100% Trump will not win the popular vote.
Okay. I'm going to go just the opposite. I'm going to say that Harris is going to win the Electoral College, meaning the presidency, but I think that Trump is going to win the popular vote.
Now, that is so interesting because if out of the possibilities of those 4 things, That would be my absolute positive dead last thing that would absolutely positively never happen. So I'm curious. We'll see what happens.
Well, the reason I'm thinking that is because he's gone on every one of these shows that appeals to the non-voting population, the young men under the age of 30, let's say. So he's gone on the Joe Rogans and every other show and gotten millions and millions and millions of people to listen to his message. The challenge is that I think most of those people are probably going to be too high on election day to remember it's voting day. And
I hope so. Or they lose track of time because they're on their video game.
Or they haven't registered yet. I'll get to it and aren't going to get there. And that would be the greatest thing is when you have 100,000 people that are going to vote for Trump that show up at the polls and say, I have my driver's license. Yeah, but have you registered to vote? No. Well, guess what? You are not voting today. You only had 4 years to figure this out since last time.
But now you just said you think he's going to win the popular vote, though.
I do. I think he's going to win. Wishful thinking is that he is not going to win either the Electoral College or the popular vote, but it doesn't matter. He could win all of the popular vote in every state, but still, well, not still lose, but the Electoral College is really the one that's important, right?
No. It isn't wishful thinking. It is what is going to happen.
Okay. Well, I am with you. Yes, we need the collective to get together here to make a decision that he will not get into office. As much of a doofus as he is, and I don't want to hear his stupidity. I even if he does good stuff for the country, the way that he does the good stuff for the country, I don't want to have him in office. I don't want to deal with him for 4 fucking years.
Yeah, do you realize that the stock market is literally more than double what it was when he left office? It was at 19,000 something in 2020. It is now over 41,000. So all those people who are like pro-business and Trump is the business guy and he's if Harris, Biden and Harris are going to tank the stock market, it hasn't exactly the opposite has happened.
Well, I certainly appreciate my Robinhood account. It's almost $5,000 now. So I very much appreciate that from the measly $250 this has been an account that I've had the entire time. How's your Robinhood doing, by the way?
I think I'm up. I don't know. I haven't looked in a little while.
I haven't looked recently.
But I lost so much on that stupid. So I put $100 into that Pixelworks, and $4. I think I lost 60 of that. But I think I'm right around even because the other ones that I bought are up. But I did sell the Pixelworks, and I think I bought NVIDIA instead. And
NVIDIA is doing amazingly well.
I know, absolutely. The thing with Trump that just kills me, and I'm a fact-based guy, scientific-based guy, right? He had 44 different people in his cabinet over his 4 years, right? People that worked for him, people that he chose. He's like, I want you and you and you and you. Out of 44 of them, 40 will not endorse him. 90% of the people that worked for him directly, day in and day out in the White House, and a huge percentage of them don't just say, no, I'm not going to support him. They basically say he's not fit for fucking office. Have we ever had an election where somebody that used to work for the candidate said, oh no, he's not even fucking fit for the office? I mean, do people not be like that are supporting Trump? Like maybe they got something. Maybe even.
Well, they're not hearing that news. They aren't the ones who are hearing
that. That is not being reported on Fox News. That's the problem.
Well, I was listening to Ested Herndon on what the heck is this show? The turnaround. What's Ested's show? Hold on a second.
No idea. Never heard of him.
Herndon. His podcast is The Run Up. So he's got a political show. It's New York Times version. So, it's going to be slanted a little bit more towards or a lot more towards Harris. Mm-hmm. But he's been interviewing people, and in the process of doing, like, people in several states can go into the polls to do early voting. They don't have to just mail it in. They can actually take it to a place.
Right.
So he was doing some exit polling of people. Yeah, we're voting for Trump because this whole, stop the steal. I'm like, are we still here? Are we still in stop the steal?
Yeah.
What's it? Too big to rig. That is their new slogan. Too big to rig. They want to have such a big turnout and such a big voting for Trump that no matter what happens, they can't possibly take, even if you're being deceptive or you have rigged whatever it's called, voting machines. It's just too big a difference to rig it so that he would lose. So their big slogan now is too big to rig.
Are they going to sing that song when they lose?
You know what? I don't even know it's almost like, God forbid, I'm not saying this like any kind of wishful thinking, but it's almost like just let them win so that we don't turn the country into this wreck for because of all of the violence that's going to incur. But then I think if he gets into office, the same thing's going to happen anyway. So we may as well just let it happen that way.
Yeah, it's a mess. And I saw this is from Fox News. So majority of veterans polled support re-election of Donald Trump. We want Trump back. How could you be a veteran and support him? I mean, he basically said, "Oh, they're losers. I don't want a prisoner of war because he's a loser. He got captured. Like he fucking went to Arlington Cemetery and disrespected." It's just amazing to me. I don't know how that could happen.
The title of that, go back to the title, majority of veterans polled support re-election of Donald Trump. So they aren't saying we polled all of the veterans, and you don't know who they're polling. Maybe they went to one state, one city, and polled those veterans, and they can say majority of the veterans that we polled support Trump. It's so misleading.
Yeah. Anyway. We're going to be finding out. And, by the next time we record, we'll either be
oh my gosh,
crying or cheering.
So
maybe, I don't know. Maybe, could be like last time where it's like, well, we don't have a real winner, or like, the news declares Harris the winner and Trump's like, no, it's not possible. I'm going to put 60 lawsuits in and fight it to the end or whatever bullshit.
So is there any election day rituals that you guys have? Are you going to just hunker down and watch television? You're not going to do any of that? Are you going to watch it on a streaming service or YouTube? What's your plan?
Dude, I got to go to school.
Got it. So no.
Well, we won't know anything till later at night anyway.
That's true. I'm certain that I will stay up and wait for some kind of definitive answer.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think they're gonna have one.
It's going to be interesting.
I don't think they're going to have one. I mean, not saying that in a negative way. I just think it's going to be too close for them to be able to. I think they'll have a lot of the. Didn't they? If I remember correctly, wasn't like 3 or 4 a.m. that it took them that long last time with the Electoral College and all that.
Yeah. Well, the other weird thing is, and I just saw a post about this the other day. The way the Electoral College works is for each state gets one Electoral College vote for each district, and then districts are determined by population, right? So big states get a lot of Electoral College votes, but each state also gets one Electoral College vote for each of their senators. So basically, every state gets 2 Electoral College votes, period, and then you get at least one more for your population, right? Now, this statistic said it was comparing California to Wisconsin, which is
Wyoming.
Wyoming, thank you. Wyoming is the least populous state, 750,000 people or something, right? So Wisconsin gets 3 Electoral College votes, and California gets 50.
And two, right? Or is it one?
3 total.
3 total, so they get 1.
In other words, they only get 1 because of their population,
and 2 because of their senators.
They have 2 senators, right?
Okay, got it.
California gets 55.
Oh my God.
Now, here's what happens though. Because Wyoming gets 3 Electoral College votes for the 750,000 people they have, they basically get 1 Electoral College vote for every 250,000 people. Okay. So 250,000 people represent 1 Electoral College vote.
Got it.
California gets
5,000.
1 Electoral College vote for every like 700,000 people.
Right,
So
the other way.
Basically, every vote in Wyoming counts for almost 3 votes in California. And that is what's bullshit about this fucking electoral college. We have 10 states that only have 3 electoral college votes. Okay. Basically 10 states that have fewer than 1 million people. So let's take all 10 of those states and put them together, right? Let's round up and let's say they each have 1 million people, right?
All right.
So this is like actually more than they actually have. So that equals 10 million people. Okay. 30 electoral college votes.
Right.
Compared to California, 55 electoral college votes. Okay. So maybe a third more, right? They have 40 million people. They have 4 times the number of people in California, but they only get like another half of an electoral college vote per person. It's ridiculous.
Is it because of the is the proportion thrown off because of the senator thing, or is it for some or some other reason?
It's 100%. It's thrown off mostly because of the senator thing, and of course, the electoral college was when we had 20 states, right? And so every state had kind of close to the same number of people depending on their size. We didn't have fucking Nebraska and Wyoming and South Dakota where, everybody lives so goddamn far away from each other.
Are you using the new math or the old math to do that? And at any point is ChatGPT involved in this? Because I know we could solve it. Like if you fed into ChatGPT, solve the problem of the electoral college versus popular vote, would it be able to do that for us?
Probably. But the problem is there's no solving it. It just is what it is. It's fucked up.
It needs to be scrapped.
Right. It needs to be scrapped. And I would say the same thing if the elections leaned the other way. Somebody pointed out Republicans have not won the popular vote since like 1990 or something, because the last 2 times that Republicans got into office, both times when Trump got elected and the last Bush that got elected, they lost the popular vote.
Oh my God.
Or maybe they've only won it once in the last 24 years or something. When was the last time Republicans won the popular vote? The popular vote. Okay, fact check. Last Republican to win the popular vote left office 14 years ago. So he was elected 20 years ago. If American electoral college is the people that so somebody said 29 years ago, but it was really only 20 years ago that they were elected. So
it can play to either advantage. It sounds like it's to the advantage of the Democratic Party. Is that correct, or is that not correct?
Well, okay. The reason that it does advantage the Democratic Party is because these small states are mostly Midwestern states. So they're very Republican, right? Let's say U.S. population. Let's look at
what's that expression? Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Well, but that's what I'm saying is if it was the other way around, let's say I'm a liberal guy, right? And let's say that the electoral college favored the Democrats. I'd still say the same thing. It's fucked up. It doesn't make any sense.
We just need to revise this. So are you all about the popular vote? Is that the way that it would go?
Personally, I am 100% about the popular vote. I think the electoral college is total bullshit and a total mess. But if we wanted to keep the electoral college, we should throw out the 2 senator votes, right?
Oh, I was thinking the other way around.
Well, basically that, in my opinion, there's no reason that a state should get 2 votes, like start with 2 votes immediately just because they have 2 senators, because every state has 2 senators.
Well, somebody picked that rule. Why was the rule picked to begin with? It seems kind of stupid.
So the reason, it's very funny you say that, because the reason that it was created in the first place,
the senator rule.
No, the electoral college.
Right. Okay.
Well, why was the Senate rule? Well, the reason the electoral college was started in the first place, and it is having exactly the opposite effect right now. The reason it was created in the first place was they wanted to make sure that no individual state would have too much power. In other words, that every state vote mattered. So the thinking on it, the logic was, hey, what if I'm a candidate and I could get every vote in California and every vote in New York? Well, if that was possible, which by the way is completely ridiculous, but let's say that could happen, right? I get every vote in California, every vote in New York. Basically, none of the votes in the middle states matter at all. Okay, right. The reality, how could any one fucking candidate get all or even 90% of the votes in a state? Okay, so first of all, that's the ridiculous part. But here's what really pisses me off. What are we talking about and what have we been talking about for the last 3 months? 7 swing states, right?
Okay.
Nobody is going to California or New York because we know the Democrats are going to get it. So right. Trump is ignoring California because if he can't tip the scales of 50%, he doesn't care if he gets 49% or 0% of the vote in California.
Right.
If he can't pass 50, fuck it, I don't care. Right. So, and all of these other states that are like deep red states, Kamala Harris is not campaigning there. She's ignoring them. All we care about are 7 swing states. So in other words, the idea of the Electoral College that every state should matter, it's having the opposite effect. Because right now, the only states that matter are the 7 swing states.
You know, those damn swingers, I'll tell you something, they really just don't.
The other thing about the Electoral College that kind of annoys me is that there's nothing in the Constitution that says that all of the Electoral College votes have to go to one candidate. You know, Nebraska and Maine split the vote. I'd be okay with that. So let's say that those 2 Senate votes. Now, even with the 2 Senate votes,
hold on a second. Remind me, because I think I've heard this before. So Nebraska and what were they?
Maine.
Nebraska and Maine. What happens with the Electoral College?
So they, depending on what is it? It's something like the congressional districts. Like each of the congressional district votes go to whichever candidate they voted for. So let's hypothetically say Maine has 5 congressional districts, which means they get 5 Electoral College votes plus 1 for each senator, right?
Right. So 7.
And let's say that 3 congressional districts went for Harris, 2 congressional districts went for Trump. The way it would work is Harris gets 3, Trump gets 2, and then whichever candidate won the overall popular vote of the state gets the other 2.
All right. Is it the pass line or the don't pass line? And who is the croupier in this?
See, we shouldn't have gotten
They all have green chips or red, or this is like fucking legalized gambling. It's legislative gambling, because who came up with the fucking rules?
It's all good. It's so stupid. It makes no sense at all. There have been many. Apparently, I saw something that said there have been over 200 amendments over the last 20 or 30 years to try to get rid of the Electoral College. None of them have come to vote, and none of them have happened. So,
okay. Yeah. All right. Well, what do we know? We're just peons. So we're just small cogs on this. We're just the nice guy cogs on the wheel.
It's so ridiculous.
Nice guy cogs on the wheel. I like it.
Yeah, we're not anybody, but we do have the ability to follow the election, and we do have the ability to state our case. And let's see what happens on Tuesday.
Well,
get out and vote, people.
Yeah, let's keep that in mind, because right now we do have the ability to speak our mind on how we feel about it. But if Trump gets elected, we may not in a couple of years. So who knows?
That is very true. All right, Sally, thank you for being here. Thanks for sharing your wisdom of the day. And
anytime.
Rick, thanks for bringing Sally along.
Hey, absolutely. I'm glad she could be here and join us today.
Yeah, let's let Sally do it. You do the words.
Ooh.
Okay. Hey, Steve O'Brien, take us out of here.
For the Nice Guys on Business, I'm Steve O'Brien. Fill up your week with the nice guys. Trust me, this is going to hurt me a lot less than it's going to hurt you.